Alright, this is Season 2, Race 4 of my F1 2020 My Team Career Mode with Jaguar Racing Formula 1 team. And it's time for the Chinese Grand Prix. Now we are coming off our surprise victory in the Vietnam Grand Prix. But before we get to qualifying, we have some R&D to deal with. This is the part that failed, the major chassis upgrade that failed the development, which we will use our resource points to get. And that will come in time for the Dutch Grand Prix. And we also have 813 resource points in the bank left. Now I could have waited to spend that later, but I decided I'm going to go with this minor engine upgrade because it's only a 19% chance of failure, and it should come in right for the Dutch Grand Prix, should everything go according to plan. And if it doesn't, then it'll come in for the next race, which again is fine, because like I said in previous races in Season 2, my goal is to just have the development line for a several week period just continue to go up, even if it's like minor developments. So I will gladly take care of that. As you can see, we have a bunch of developments that in theory should all be in for the Dutch Grand Prix. Now we are going to get ready for qualifying, and much like last season's Chinese Grand Prix, it is raining during qualifying, which, of course, in China, that will essentially eliminate everyone who would be starting on the, or it would eliminate the soft tire option from the race. Because again, normally with China, if it's a fully dry race and qualifying is also dry, then the top 10 will usually start on softs, the other cars will start on mediums, and the front runners will be doing a 2-stop, whereas everyone else will be doing a 1. Well, much like last year, it's turning during qualifying, which means free choice of tires for the race. And I think everyone last year picked mediums, and I presume they will do the same again this year. So, let's go to qualifying and see how well I can do in the wet. Sorry, guys, just responding to a text here. I'll be a second. Well, this is fascinating. It's raining, but it's saying for dries, okay. So it's wet, but apparently it's not wet enough for dry tires. It's not wet enough for rain tires, for whatever reason. So this just threw curveball into qualifying. Looks like we got a very solid P5.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Hamilton, Verstappen and Alexander Albon. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Alright. P5. Mercedes, Red Bull, Mercedes. Actually, Mercedes did get a minor upgrade, so let's see how they do in this race. McLaren, again, their pace is just not showing up. Got out-qualified by both racing points. Teammates down to 15th.
Right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Alright. So, forget everything I just said about the strategy. This is going to be a normal Chinese Grand Prix, which means interesting potential strategies in the race. Let's go.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1, and of course down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now then, let's take a look at Nick de Vries. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Bottas, the owner driver, and Leclerc, Ricciardo, Stroll, Vettel, and Sergio Perez. Fiat, Gasly, Carlos Sainz, and Magnussen, Grosjean, Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi, and George Russell, Latifi, Norris, Calderon, and Nick de Vries. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Ooh, excuse me. I just had dinner not that long ago. Had some steak, a little bit of mac and cheese. My apologies. Race strategy. As predicted, normal. This is what you see in a normal Chinese Grand Prix. Everyone in the top 10 has a very, very short stint on the softs before going to 2 mediums. So, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for us, and the guys on the medium tires are going to have the advantage. Let's check the race director. I was going to say the AlphaTauris were going to be the ones who had the advantage, but Pierre Gasly, for whatever reason, even though he's outside of the top 10, he went with softs.
Everything looks good on the power unit cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
Yeah, so Kvyat, Sainz, actually our teammate Kevin Magnussen are going to be on the grid anyway on the first 3 cars on the medium tire. So those guys are going to be the ones to watch through this first portion of the race.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Okay, here's who we're really fighting today. Albon and Leclerc.
And of course, the key for us is going to be what does our start look like? And can we get close enough to the leader, which will presumably be Hamilton, for when the pit stops get going? Yeah, because of the pit strategies, with how bad the soft tires are, there's always a race that's very intriguing. So just to see, can the medium tire starters, how much can they gain? Magnussen could be in for a shot at points today. Who knows?
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
There we go, 5 red lights. Away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix, and Bottas gets a great start. Gets bogged down. We take advantage. We get by. Albon's there. Verstappen battling side by side with Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton is going to get the edge out of the first couple corners.
All right, we're looking good so far.
We are right behind Max Verstappen. Well, maybe not so much anymore. Hamilton already starting to waltz off into the distance. Do the best we can to defend from Bottas. Hamilton's already 2.5 seconds ahead of us. fend off the challenge from Bottas. It's on our outside. We keep them behind us. A good corner. Not a good corner at all. Albon looking to make a move on Bottas and maybe on us too. Oh, come on, Albon. You know you didn't have that. Albon, what's with you making crazy dives into this sharp left-hander? It's not gonna work, pal. There you go. Horrible exit. Bottas, no room. Here comes the flare. Full head of steam. I think Bottas had a big lock up there. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Let's try not to lose too much ground to Hamilton here. Now DRS has been enabled. Leclerc with a head of steam on the outside. We just hold them off. So we'll be coming in this time for pit stops. Or actually, no, one more lap after this. Apparently I've forgotten how to count.
We're leading our teammate by 6.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 14th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 39.8. Pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
Hamilton and Verstappen have just absolutely driven away.
No tyre concerns at the moment. Just focus on the driving. Pit window open. Let's box this lap.
Alright, that is the plan. See how it works out.
The car in front is 8.6 seconds. Gap to teammate behind is 7.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 14th. The time last lap was a 1:39.8.
Hamilton and Verstappen stay out.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Say again, you're breaking up.
And I completely screwed up pit entry.
Right, come in at the end of this lap. Affirmative. Medium tyres at the next stop.
Albon follows instead.
Go, go, go.
Solid pit stop for the team.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. One stop left.
Alright, let's get going here. I'm surprised that Hamilton is staying out on those really worn soft tires. As are a bunch of other people. I'm very surprised by this. Hamilton will absolutely get caught behind the traffic of the guys who are doing one-stops.
Gap to teammate ahead is 13.2 seconds.
Unless Hamilton is somehow trying to stretch it for a one-stop, but that would be... If he manages to do that on those soft tires, he is a wizard. A tire wizard. As he passes Calderon, and Leclerc is out of the race. Charles Leclerc is out of the Grand Prix. He's got engine problems. By the looks of it, he pulls it off track.
Yellow flag. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
Shame for Leclerc after having a finish outside the points.
Green flag.
They're finishing outside of the points
Okay, gap ahead is 5.1 seconds.
in Vietnam, DNF, here in China. Oh, and there goes Albon just speeding by. Get back. We will. Well, Albon's coming back. He'll get the spot for the moment.
The car behind you has just fitted the hard tyres. Car behind, running hards.
Vettel stopped on there. Okay. So I see why some of them went long on the softs. They were trying to stretch it to a one-stop. So I guess our goal at this point is to just push. That's what we gotta do. We just gotta push. Bottas has really stretched out this stint on the medium tires.
Gap to car in front is 1.8 seconds.
Albon's probably going to get held up here by this slower traffic. So I think the move by some of the guys in front of us, or some of the guys we were fighting to do a one-stop, I think it's going to completely change our trajectory for this race. I think we can still score points, but it's going to be very close. Unquestionably close. Meanwhile, Danny Kvyat leads the Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz in second. Albon gets slowed up by debris. Let's actually rewind that because I neglected to put it in Rich Mix. tight racing here. Get by DeVries. Albon's going to have more traffic ahead of him. Oh, that's not good. Dive underneath Alexander Albon and take back that position that he got from us earlier.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
I think Latifi is the one that's holding us up here. Let's see who we can pass here. Ooh, and Latifi with a big lockup, and we get a triple overtake into that corner. Thank you, Nicholas Latifi.
Good pace. You're catching the car in front by a second per lap.
Verstappen went onto another set of softs for some reason. That's certainly a choice. Closing the gap to the guys in front of us, and that's going to be crucial for when we eventually come in, because these guys in front of us are all going to be going on to hards when they pit. And just to give a nice update, we are scheduled to hit next on lap 16. So it's going to be crucial that we can catch up to the guys in front of us who are doing the one stop, so that when we pit for our second stop, we're close to them, we can pass them. Of course, they will be on hard tires, we'll be on another set of mediums, so we should be faster. We're already catching them right now, only about 2 seconds behind Giovinazzi.
The gap to the car ahead is 2.0 seconds.
Here we go, some of those cars
in the pits.
finally hitting the pits for their stop.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
A couple of more laps until we have to come in for our second set of medium tires. Again, the key is going to be where are we going to come out in relation to everybody else. Current predictor has us in P16. See if that changes. So I believe some guys, like Roman Grosjean, still haven't made their first stop yet. And as I say that, Grosjean dives into the pits. Pit predictor has changed. It's now P13, so not too bad. I think we're in a spot where we'll be out of the points, but we can make up those spots on track. So again, we have to go
Be aware we
one more
expect
lap.
the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Excuse me. And just for reference, 13th will be right somewhere around Lance Stroll, Grosjean, Verstappen. In that neighborhood.
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
Went that a little wide there. So let me make a quick check, because I know Albon's in the same strategy. I don't think he has made a second stop yet. So him and I are in the same boat, pretty much, in terms of strategy. Hamilton is
Okay, we can take you this lap.
15 seconds up the road, and it'll be a bigger gap once we stop. Obviously, to against Bottas, who will be the effective P2.
Affirmative. Medium tyres at the next stop.
And as expected, Albon follows us into the pits.
Complete, go now. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Alright, now let's get a move on. Let's see what we can do. P14. Can we get back to the points? Ocon overtaken. Giovinazzi. Little good contact, but it's all good. You're into P12. The chase is on for P11.
The gap to the car behind is 1.5 seconds. We advise moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up.
I just realized we've suddenly vaulted into the points. Somebody, I think, must have stopped again. That was in front of us. Huh. It's very strange. So I thought I was fighting to get in the points, but now we're 10th. I must have missed something. Somewhere. Must have missed an overtake up pit road somewhere because Magnussen was P10. We were P12, so somebody must have made a second stop, I have to think. Nevertheless, we'll take it. I thought we were going to be fighting to get into the points, but we are in the points. Now it's just a matter of gaining more points.
Managing your tyres. Manage your tyres.
We should dispatch of Lance Stroll quite easily here in a second. Try to make a move there, didn't work. We are definitely going to get him into this hairpin here. Yes, very nice, easy outbreak Stroll, and we're away.
Nice move. Good job.
Up next is our teammate, Kevin Magnussen. And as it stands right now, if he can maintain his position, or maintain, at least P10, not only will it be
2.3 seconds.
His first points of the season, it'll be the first time the Jaguar Racing F1 team has had a double points finish since their return to Formula 1. So, hoping Magnussen has enough steam, has enough life left in those tires to adjust. I mean, we're going to pass him, but the idea is that hopefully he has just enough to maintain either P9 or P10. Good news is Stroll in 10th has a decent gap to Ocon in 11th. And Ocon and Stroll and Magnussen are all on the same tire. So in theory, Magnussen should be able to hold on to points.
as things stand, will be second in the championship.
We're going to be within DRS range of Magnussen here. See if we can get by him. Might be a little too far back. To make a move on him there. Maybe coming down the front straight we can get him. No, too far again. Close. We're definitely close.
We're increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
That felt a little unfair to Magnussen. Much about passing clean, no contact. Oh Jesus, Kevin, you locked up the brakes there. Didn't exactly help me. Got it. Is it a pull off? We're going to go
There's 5 laps of
left.
fuel remaining.
Easily get to the position. Thank you, Kevin. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. And we roll on. We'll see. I don't think we can catch the cars in front of us, but we'll see.
Gap ahead is 4.7 seconds.
Well, I think what's happening here is that Verstappen is getting held up a little bit by some of the guys who went on the hard tires, mainly Sainz and Kvyat, primarily.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. As things stand, we'll be second in the championship. Gap to car in front is 4.8 seconds. We're leading our teammate by 3.0 seconds.
Laps to go. Whoops, ran into the grass a little bit too much there. Still doing okay though.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
Meanwhile,
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
Hamilton's taking the white flag now. After a shaky start to the season, looks like Hamilton is finally back on form. Probably would have won Vietnam if not for that late safety car. It's also his first win going back a couple races into season 1, so this is a big moral victory for Lewis Hamilton after having sort of a tough run of it at the end of season 1, start of season 2.
This is your final lap of the race.
I'm sure he'll feel good to be on the top 7 podium once again. And Lewis Hamilton wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Bottas gets second, Leclerc gets third. Maybe we'll come home for points. 89.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
It's supposed to go. Just me gets driver of the day.
Yes, another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Now that's more like the podium we've come to expect, typically Formula 1.
And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Carlos Sainz certainly wasn't someone to scoff about. His ability to follow race strategies throughout with pinpoint precision has to be commended. All respect to the fans' choice, they fully deserve it. But I just feel that my pick had a little more on their plate. so their ability to keep a cool head and come through for such a strong finish made the difference, at least in my opinion.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, AlphaTauri's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
So there you have it. That was the Chinese Grand Prix. Big props talked about at the top. For those who stopped, who did a one-stop, who were on medium tires at the start, who would work out for the best. Well, clearly it worked out the best for Danny Kvyat and Taras and AlphaTauri. Not Taras anymore, AlphaTauri. Fourth place finish, awesome result for those guys, 12 points in the bank. That will help them greatly in the Constructors' Championship. Ricciardo, a very solid result in P5. Continuing to get points for Renault after their slow start. Carlos Sainz, a more representative result in that McLaren, P6. Strategy didn't necessarily work out for Verstappen or myself. We got P7 and 8, still getting points. Kevin Magnussen, finally my teammate pulls through. He gets first double points finish for our team in this career mode, so that's awesome. And Lance Stroll continues his strong run of points scoring finishes off of one stops. He gets P10, edging out once again his teammate Sergio Perez. Albon also lost out greatly, P3 to P12. I think the two-stop strategy was really going to depend on where you were in the pack, and Albon obviously was in just the wrong spot. It didn't work out for him. So yeah, there you go. That was the Chinese Grand Prix. Excuse me. I'll actually take a look in a second at the
amazing
point
performance out there.
standings, because I
I'm sure
neglected
you're
to look at
pretty
that.
happy with that. You're no longer in the top spot. Are you hoping to regain it? You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. Appreciate
I think that might have been my first interview of the entire weekend, so great to see. Let's get that bonus money. Vettel edges us out ever so slightly in the rivalry. Still pretty close at the moment. Getting that claim a boost, you like to see it. With our teammate, 861, 100k, no damage. Solid weekend all around. $6.4 million in the bank as we begin to rebuild our coffers in preparation for re-signing Kevin Magnussen. I'm really going to be curious to see where Kevin's performance is after our next set of upgrades that we have coming up on the car. So when we do the Dutch Grand Prix, I'm going to be very intrigued to see where he turns out. I think we're going to jump a lot of teams with our upgrades. We should be in a spot within the top 4 or 5 teams.
Right now. I think we've got room for some more investment.
We've got a renew sponsor. We'll renew DSP Optics. car livery. Sponsor decals. Get DSP optics on the car. Here they are, right on the nose. And right there on the side pod. Just what you'll like to see. Filling up that car with sponsors. In terms of Kevin Magnussen as a driver, with all the different perks, he is up to an 87 after being an 88 initially. And I think with this, obviously it helps the driver, but it also helps when the car is performing. So I think I want to say that I think it feels like that's a combination of the car getting better and the boosts to Magnussen are helping him out immensely. Activities wise, I think I sussed out what we're going to do here. So we'll do some more reaction training for Magnussen here. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do a funded team event there. Then we'll do a sponsor fundraiser, and then reaction training for Kevin Magnussen. I think that will work out well for everyone. Earning 25k, but that's alright. We can live with that. Again, the upgrades we are expecting coming in is the... Oh, and the durability thing failed. What is it lately with everything failing? It's not promising. Seems like every part where you've tried to get recently has failed. Well, at least we have the points to get it in before the Dutch Grand Prix, so... hopefully everything works out. Go to press interview with Will Buxton.
Well, it's great to be back at your headquarters, and I've got to say, an awful lot's changed since we were last here. Let's dive in with some questions. Sponsors seem to be climbing over one another to get their name onto your car. What do you plan on investing that extra money into?
I say we'll go with the chassis, because that's an area where we're lacking a little bit.
You're within touching distance of the top 3 teams. Do you think you'll be able to join or possibly surpass them?
I'll go with we're surpassing all expectations. I doubt it will be long before we're a real threat.
You seem to be stuck in the mid-tier at the moment. Are you happy here, or will you be aiming to challenge the top teams in the near future?
I wouldn't call it stuck. You can't go from rookie to legend without passing through the mid-tier.
Would you say that it's important to develop your drivers as much as possible? You're now one of the most competitive teams on the grid. What was the most important thing that helped you achieve this.
I have to say our power unit.
And thanks so much as ever for your time. It's hugely appreciated.
Alright. Hopefully all the parts come in for the upgrades. As it looks like it has. Oh, and we had another failure. Are you serious? I really don't know what's going on. It seems like every part we've tried to put on the car has failed recently, at least once. Well, it can only fail once, but yeah, I don't understand it. It's really confusing why we continue to have parts that fail, even when the morale of the departments is all good. Just doesn't work out for whatever reason. And what's funny is that quality control on the chassis and the powertrain is level 2. So it's not like we've reduced greatly the chances of failure. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just had a string of failures in a row for whatever reason. As you might have seen briefly there in an email, we got our first manufacturer or engine supplier wide power upgrade, which is good. And yes, it sucks that this failed, but bright side, it will be a lock to come in for Spain. So that's okay. We can make that work. And here's a look at the point standings. So we are behind Hamilton now by 6 points. Bottas has jumped to 3rd, Albon's 4th, and Vettel, Verstappen, Stroll, Leclerc, Perez, and Ricciardo are the top 10. Thank you for watching the Chinese Grand Prix, and we'll see you at the Dutch Grand Prix.